You were never meant to blend in, never meant to follow the crowd, never meant to settle for a life of mediocrity. You were meant for something greater. But with that calling comes challenges. And if you've ever felt different, misunderstood, or called to something more, you're about to realize, you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were meant to lead, to awaken, to rise. You are not here by accident. Take a moment and do these 3 things. Subscribe to Bible Peak, hit the like button as a declaration of faith, and comment, "I trust in God." This is more than just an action, it is a testimony. A public declaration that you recognize His hand on your life. That you accept His calling, that you will no longer deny who you were created to be. You are different, and you have always known it. You cannot pretend to be someone you're not. Even as a child, you struggled to go along with things that didn't feel right. You've watched people lie to themselves, live a life that isn't true, and conform just to fit in, but you could never do that. Because inside of you, there is a deep-rooted truth. Something that refuses to be silenced. Something that makes it impossible for you to follow the crowd. You see the world for what it is. You see people for who they are. You can tell when someone is being fake, when they wear a mask. When their words and actions don't match. And because of this, you struggle to connect with most people. You feel uncomfortable in shallow conversations. You cannot fake enthusiasm for things that do not matter. Materialism, gossip, negativity, they drain you. While others thrive in social games and meaningless drama, you feel like an outsider. And you've probably asked yourself, why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal? But hear this, you were not created to be normal. You were created to be set apart. Your authenticity is a gift. Your refusal to conform is a sign that you were meant to lead. And while others are content to live on the surface, you were created to dive into the depths of truth. You cannot live life on autopilot. While others accept a life of routine, you feel a constant pull towards something greater. You cannot just wake up, work, eat, sleep, and repeat. Because something inside of you knows that life is more than this. And you've tried, you've tried, to live like everyone else. To go through the motions. To be satisfied with the things that make others happy. But it never works. Because you were never meant to be satisfied by the things of this world. Society has told you to go to school, get a job, buy a house, live comfortably. But inside, you crave something more. You feel like you were made for a mission, a purpose, a destiny that goes beyond just existing. Because deep down, your soul remembers. It remembers that you came here for something bigger. It remembers that you were sent to this world not to follow, but to lead. And so you search. You search for truth. You search for meaning. You search for something real. But instead of finding guidance, the world has told you, you're overthinking. Just be happy with what you have. Why can't you just be normal? And for a while, you may have tried to ignore the calling. You may have tried to shrink yourself down to fit into the mold that society created for you. But the thing about being chosen is, you can never truly hide from your destiny. Because no matter how much you try to suppress it, the calling inside of you will never go away. Here's something you need to know, most people are asleep. They live their entire lives following the system, chasing after things that don't truly matter. They do not question. They do not seek truth. They do not wonder if there is something more. But you? You have always known there is more. And that is why the world does not understand you. Because you were not meant to be one of them. You were meant to wake up, to rise above, to lead others out of the illusions they have accepted as truth. You were sent to this world to be a light in the darkness. And that is why you will never be satisfied with the things that satisfy most people. Because you were not created for this world. You were created for something far greater. With great purpose comes great responsibility. And if you are chosen, you will face challenges that others do not. You will feel the weight of your calling. You will face rejection, loneliness, and seasons of doubt. Because stepping into your destiny requires strength, and strength is built through trials. But let me remind you, you were built for this. Everything you have been through, every hardship, every battle, every painful experience, has been preparing you. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were being shaped into the warrior that you were always meant to be. And now, you have a choice. You can continue to ignore your calling. Or you can step fully into who you were created to be. Because the moment you embrace your purpose, the moment you rise into your destiny, nothing will be able to stop you. If you have ever doubted yourself, questioned your path, or wondered why you feel so different, this is your answer. This is the moment where you realize, you were never meant to be ordinary. And everything in your life has been leading you to this truth, you were chosen. Now the only question is, are you ready to rise? Being chosen is not about comfort, it is not about ease, popularity, or fitting in, it is about endurance, transformation, and purpose, because when God sets you apart, He allows you to walk through the fire, not to destroy you, but to refine you, to turn you into something stronger than you ever imagined. And if your life has felt like a battle from the very beginning, know this. It is because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. 1. You face more hardships than others, many are called, but only a few are chosen. And the chosen endure the toughest battles. Since childhood, your life has never been easy. You have faced struggles that most people wouldn't survive. You have been tested in ways that others can't even comprehend. And at times, you have questioned, why me? Why has my path been filled with obstacles? Why have I faced rejection, betrayal, loneliness, and pain? But let me tell you something, you were not being punished. You were being prepared, because a great calling requires great strength, and strength is not given, it is built. Through every heartbreak, you learn to love deeper. Through every loss, you learn to appreciate what truly matters. Through every rejection, you learn to stand firm in your identity. Through every battle, you became the warrior you were destined to be. And even when life knocked you down, you always got back up, because there is something inside of you, something unbreakable, something that refuses to quit, and that is why you are still standing, because you were not made to be defeated, you were made to rise. If you look back on your life, you will see that every pain you endured, every moment of suffering, has equipped you to help someone else. Your struggles were not just about you, they were about the people you will one day lead out of darkness, because there are others who are still lost, still confused, still fighting the same battles you have already won, and when their time comes, they will need someone who understands their pain, someone who has walked through the fire and come out stronger, someone like you, because the purpose of your suffering was never to break you, it was to transform you, to give you wisdom, strength, and compassion that cannot be taught, only lived. And when the time comes, you will realize that every wound became a doorway to someone else's healing. From a young age, you have questioned everything. You were never the type to blindly follow the rules. You wanted to know why. You wanted to understand the deeper meaning behind everything. And while others were content with shallow answers, you craved something more. You were drawn to wisdom, to spirituality, to ancient truths that most people ignore, because deep inside, you have always known, this world is not what it seems. Society has tried to shape you, to tell you what to think, to control your beliefs, but you were never one to simply accept what you were told, because God gave you eyes to see beyond the illusion. And that is why you search for truth in a world built on deception. You seek knowledge that has been hidden, you challenge beliefs that have been forced upon you, and no matter how much others try to silence your questions, you cannot stop seeking, because inside of you, there is a fire, a hunger for truth that refuses to die, a calling to see beyond what others are blind to. From the beginning, you felt different, even in your own family. You sensed that you did not truly belong. You saw the world differently. You thought differently. You questioned things that others accepted without hesitation. And because of this, you were often misunderstood. Your views, your beliefs, your way of thinking, they set you apart. Maybe you were criticized for being too sensitive or too deep. Maybe you were told to just be normal or stop overanalyzing everything. Maybe you even tried to fit in, to blend in with those around you. But no matter how much you tried, you could never fully silence the voice inside you, because you were not meant to be like them. You were meant to break the cycle, to challenge the patterns that have kept generations trapped, to bring change, even when no one else sees the need for it. And that is why you have always felt like an outsider, not because you were broken, not because there was something wrong with you, but because God set you apart for a different path. Despite everything, despite the struggles, the loneliness, the rejection, you have always known, deep down, in the quiet moments of your soul, there has always been a whisper. A feeling that you were meant for something more, that you are here for a reason, that your life is not just a series of random events, but a carefully designed path. And no matter how much you've doubted, how much you've questioned, that feeling has never left you, because it is the truth. And now, you are at a crossroads. You can ignore it, pretend you never felt it, or you can embrace it, step into it. Rise into the calling that has been waiting for you all along. If you have felt these things, if you have lived these struggles, if you have questioned why your path has been so different, this is your answer. You are not alone. You are not imagining it. You were never meant to be ordinary. Because you are not just anyone, you are chosen. And now, you must decide, will you step into who you were always meant to be? The world does not respond to you the way it responds to others. You walk into a room, and people notice, even when you don't say a word. Some are drawn to you, feeling an unexplainable pull toward your presence. Others feel threatened, even when you've done nothing wrong. And through it all, you've faced moments of doubt, wondering why you seem to exist on a different frequency than those around you. But hear this, you were designed this way, because when you are truly chosen, you don't just live in the world, you shift it. You are not here to blend in. You are here to awaken, to challenge, to illuminate, and that is why your existence stirs something in others, both good and bad. Life has not been kind to you. You have been mistreated. You have been betrayed. You have given your love, your energy, your kindness, only to have it taken for granted. And yet, you still choose love. You still believe in the good in people, even when they have given you every reason not to. You still extend a hand to those in need, even when no one has done the same for you, because deep inside, you cannot be anything but yourself. Even when the world has tried to harden you, your heart refuses to turn cold. This is not weakness, this is power. Because in a world full of bitterness, your ability to love despite the pain is proof that you were made for something higher. Many people let suffering change them for the worse. They become angry, they become cynical, they lose faith. But you endure the pain without losing your light. And that is why you are different. That is why you are chosen. Because only those with a heart strong enough to survive the darkness can be trusted to bring others into the light, no matter how much you have tried to ignore it, no matter how much you have tried to fit in. There has always been a whisper inside of you. You are different, not just in the way you think, not just in the way you see the world, but in the very core of your being. There is something inside of you that feels older, deeper, wiser than those around you. You feel like an old soul, like you have lived before, like you carry knowledge you did not learn in this lifetime. And at times, You have even felt as though Earth is not truly your home, as if you were placed here, temporarily, for a mission beyond what you can yet understand. This feeling is not random. It is a call from your soul, a reminder that your purpose is greater than what you can see with your eyes, a confirmation that you are not lost, but rather, you are being led. There are people who will dislike you before you even speak, people who will be uncomfortable in your presence, who will react to you with hostility, who will try to push you away, even though you have done nothing wrong. This used to confuse you. It used to hurt. You used to wonder, why? Why do some people treat me this way? But now, you need to understand something powerful. Their reaction is not about you. It is about what you carry inside of you. Because when you walk into a room, you bring light, you bring truth, you bring an energy that forces others to confront what they have been avoiding. Some people are inspired by this. They feel safe around you. They feel seen, uplifted, healed. But others fear it. Because your light exposes their darkness, your presence reveals the things they do not want to face. And rather than looking inward, rather than healing, they attack you, they mock you, they reject you, not because you are wrong, but because your existence reminds them of everything they are trying to ignore, and so they resist you, because if they accept you, they have to accept the truth, and not everyone is ready for that. At some point, you may have tried to make yourself smaller, to silence your voice, to suppress your intuition, to hide the depth of who you really are. You may have thought, if I just tone it down, maybe people will like me more. Maybe they'll accept me, maybe I won't feel so alone. But let me tell you something, you cannot be small when God has made you great. You cannot dim your light just to make others comfortable, because your light was not given to you for your sake alone. It was given to you for those who are meant to be led by it, for those who are still searching in the darkness, for those who are waiting for someone like you to show them that there is more. So do not shrink yourself. Do not let their discomfort convince you to abandon your purpose. Because those who are meant to walk this journey with you, they will see your light and run toward it, not away. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were never meant to be unnoticed, invisible, or forgotten. You were created to stand out, to be a force of truth, of love, of power. And that means not everyone will like you, not everyone will understand you, not everyone will support you. But that is not a reason to doubt yourself. That is a sign that you are on the right path. Because when God calls you higher, not everyone can come with you. Not everyone will celebrate you. Not everyone will accept the truth you carry. But the right people will. And the ones who are meant to walk this journey with you, they are coming. So hold on, keep going, and never forget, you were not created to fit in. You were created to lead. You have felt different your entire life. You have faced rejection, pain, and misunderstanding. But now, you know why. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were meant to be set apart. And if the world does not understand you, it is because they have not yet seen what God has placed inside of you. But in time, they will. And when that moment comes, you will be exactly who you were always meant to be. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life, a moment where you must decide, will you continue to walk a path of comfort, pretending that your purpose is not calling you? Or will you rise? Because the truth is, you were never meant to stay hidden. You were never meant to blend in, to follow the world's illusions, to live a life of quiet submission. You were meant to lead, to guide, to awaken. And that is why you feel the pull. That is why you have always felt different. Because you are not just anyone. You are a light worker, a soul sent into this world to bring love, truth, and wisdom to those who are still asleep. You did not come here to conform. You came here to change everything. You have always known, life is not random. Everything is unfolding according to a divine plan. Even in your darkest moments, even when you have felt lost, something inside of you whispered, this is not the end. Keep going. Because deep in your soul, you understand, God is real, destiny is real, your mission is real, and no matter how much this world tries to distract you, No matter how much society tries to make you doubt, no matter how much you have questioned your own faith at times, you always come back, because you cannot unsee what has already been revealed to you. Think back on your life, the moments you were at your lowest, the times you almost gave up, the situations that should have broken you, and yet, something always intervened, a person, a message, a sudden shift, a miracle. Something always pulled you back onto the right path, even when you didn't understand why, even when you thought you were alone. But now, you are beginning to see, you were never alone. You have been guided, watched over, protected, your entire life. There were forces at work that you could not see, because when you are chosen, your life is not just your own. There is a mission, there is a path, and no matter how much you may have strayed, God has never abandoned you, because He needs you to complete what you were sent here to do. If you are chosen, you have been through trials that would have broken most people, and yet, you are still here. You have questioned your faith, you have doubted your purpose. You have asked, why me? But hear this, your faith was never meant to be blind, it was meant to be tested, refined, made unshakable, because God does not call the weak to do His work, He calls the strong, and He makes them even stronger. You were not given an easy path, because an easy path does not create warriors, and that is exactly what you are. If you recognize these signs in yourself, if you feel something stirring in your soul as you read these words, it is because this is not just another message, this is your confirmation. This is the moment where you realize, you were never meant to live a life of mediocrity. You were never meant to follow the world's distractions. You were never meant to stay silent. You were sent here for a mission, and now, you must make a choice. Will you continue to live as you always have, or will you finally accept who you truly are, because the moment you fully step into your calling, everything will change, the doubts will fade, the wrong people will leave, the right people will come, the path will become clear, because when you finally say yes to your divine purpose, God moves everything into place. Look around. The world is in chaos. People are lost. Truth is being silenced. Darkness is growing stronger. And that is why you are here. Because when the world is at its darkest, God sends His strongest warriors. And you are one of them. You were not born in this time by accident. You were placed here for a reason. Because the world needs more light. It needs more truth. It needs more people who will stand firm when others fall, and that is why you cannot ignore this calling any longer. Because you are needed, every experience, every battle, every hardship, they have all been preparing you for this moment, and now, you stand at a crossroads. You can stay where you are, pretending that your soul does not crave something more, or you can step forward, rise into who you were always meant to be, because this is your time. This is the moment where everything shifts, where your doubts are silenced, where your fear is replaced with faith, where you finally accept you were never meant to be ordinary. You were chosen, and now, the only question left is, will you answer the call?